Morning, everyone. Sorry for being a little late. I was moving some pictures around and didn't realize it had gone very far. So, no, Jackson, you could never offend me. So, I actually have new coffee today. But anyway, I'm Bondar Jr., also known as the Silver Wolf, also most days simply known as Ron, and we're here to stream some EveOnline. So, Jackson is here. Good to see you. I actually do have some new coffee today, so it's M&M coffee, and it is different. So, what's up, Dark Slider? I'm kind of waiting on it to cool off so I can tell if it's better or worse than my other coffee. I'm not thinking it's better, but anyway. So yeah, so Jackson was first this morning. He's super proud of that. So M&M like the candy, yes. When we went to S&R, it was the only one that I thought seemed semi doable. So we thought I'd give it a try. Plus, it was in a smaller container, so if it wasn't good, I wouldn't have to deal with it for long because I refuse to waste coffee. So they didn't have a whole lot of selections. Loving the beard. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'm hoping it stops itching soon. If it stops itching, then it may stay, but wife has not said a word about it, so which is strange to say the least. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yes, so anyway, I did finish the event last night. And I was kind of hoping Respin would be here. So let's actually look. He is not in the in-game channel. So yeah, so I did get a plug suit and I did get a female plug suit. So, of course, since all my characters are male, so Respin will get the plug suit. And so that'll work out pretty good for him. So yeah, but yeah, I with Kragen's I got crap. I think I got a hat. But with Falstaff's, I got a female plug suit. So that was kind of nice. But and here it is here. Let's do sort. There we go. So yeah, so women's crisis drifter plug suit. And then I also got out of something else, women's capsuleer day. What is that? 19? Yeah, 19 hoodie. I think that's 19, right? But that's a woman's one as well. And then this one I just got out of something else, Capsuleers Network XV suit. It was out of an old box that I had never claimed, so I was doing those this morning. So you still haven't opened your crate. Well, you definitely need to open your crate. Yeah, that was honestly that was well worth the whole grinding it out and getting it done because that was the only thing that mattered. Was that damn crate. So, but yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry that Respin's not here because Respin would be making out like a bandit. So yeah, once he gets on, we'll let him know that how lucky he is. So yeah, probably tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, that was it. Like I said, if we go over here and switch over to Craig, and his his was not as nice. He got this men's capsuleer network 15 hat, which I'm probably gonna give to Falstaff because it matches his outfit. But either that or I'll give the outfit to Craig, and I don't know, but yeah, that was his big one. So yeah, but yes, I did get a plug suit, so that was kind of nice. News at 11. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, so which I usually don't have that kind of luck. Of course, I got a plug suit for women, so and I have zero women characters, so that makes perfect sense. That was kind of the deal. So, what's up, USA for the win? Good to see you this morning. I was just thinking about you. I have new coffee this morning. It's M&M flavored. I'm not sure I'm liking it. So, 5:30. Appreciate you meeting us this early. That's way early. No, I need to wear something. Super hot now. Yeah, I understand that feeling too. It's 9:30 here and it's already super hot. Super humid today. Super humid today. I got out of the shower and I was drenched in sweat again. So I was like, okay. But I was just telling them I finally ground out the event and I actually did get a plug suit. But unfortunately, I got a plug suit for women and I have all male characters. So I had promised that if I got a woman one, it would go to Respin. So we're just waiting for him to show up. So birthday suit. There you go. Is it chocolate flavor or just sweet flavor? You know, Dark Slider? I'm not really sure. I put a lot of sugar in it and I put milk in it. So it is sweet, but I'm figuring that's from the sugar that I put in. Um, it it doesn't really taste like chocolate, but I do get the feeling of M&Ms when I drink it. I don't know why. Maybe because that's on the package. I don't know. But yeah, I can't explain it. Very strange. I'll have to show you guys the package. But yeah. But yeah, it when we went to SNR, it was they didn't have a whole lot of selection. So yeah, it seems like a placebo coffee, right? Right. They didn't have a whole lot of selection, which I was kind of disappointed. And I shouldn't say that. They had some ground coffee, but they had like super big packages. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that or not. Let's try some of these others first. So yeah, Bond loves sugar. My coffee is usually half milk, half sugar. So, but I think I need to cut down on a coffee. Cut down, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing about 2 cups a day, which seems to work. But they're smaller cups. In America, I had 1 cup that was bigger than this, so I'm probably still only doing 1 big cup a day. But yeah, if you're feeling that, if you're feeling those palpitations, definitely cut down. Or get decaf. Yeah, the wife has a lot of trouble. So if she drinks coffee anytime after noon, she can't sleep that night. And so but she does instant, which I can't do. I don't want to do instant. Instant is just a waste. And so too many preservatives in instant, but she loves the instant. And so I got her decaf, and that really helped because she was having the same thing with the palpitations and everything. But yeah, caffeine has never affected me that way. In college, I could open a Coke and drink half of it, fall asleep, 3 seconds later, wake up, drink the other half of it flat, and it really didn't do anything. But yeah, the decaf will definitely help out, so give that a try. That way you still get the coffee, the placebo effect of the coffee without the negative palpitations. So yeah, because the caffeine can do, for some people are very sensitive to it. My wife especially is very sensitive to it. And so yeah, so when I got her the decaf, like I said, she does instant, but that made a huge difference. And literally, she'll drink it at 9, 10 o'clock at night and still be able to sleep that night. So that works. We haven't really found the decaf here, which was one we were looking at SNR as well. But yeah, so that was one of the main reasons to go to SNR was coffee. Um, they don't. It's weird. They drink coffee here, but they do mostly instant. And she is still in bed. Yes, her and the dog. So this works out good. That's why I'm thinking I should probably start earlier because I could get half my stream done before she even gets out of bed, and then I'd have some extra time for myself. So, but what I know is caffeine is while asleep, it can kick in and wake you up. Yep, yep. Yeah. So I used to drive a lot when I was younger, and I had trouble. And so I took some of those caffeine pills once in an effort to stay awake while driving. And they didn't keep me awake while driving, but as soon as I got to my destination, they would not let me sleep. And so yeah, so maybe that's it. So, but tea is also another one. Tea still has caffeine in it, but it's more mild and more spread out. So that's another option. But yeah, try the decaf. Like I said, that really helped for her. So top half only if you're wondering. There you go. TMI. Yeah, no dose. Ooh, yeah, that's what it was, Jarrett Jackson. No dose. And yeah, I took him that one time and never touched him again. I have done the like 5 hour energy when I've driven here in later life. If I started getting drowsy, and that seemed to help. But green tea with mint or any citrus flavor is best. There you go. Yep. And so yeah, I love green tea. So what are you going to do now after the event? Well, that's an excellent question. So one thing, I was looking for Blue Gray as well, and I don't see him, and he usually goes to bed early. So I promised him my blueprints because he has not finished his yet. So I'm going to jump over here in my Estero. You guys are looking at Falstaff, yes, okay. And I'm going to run over here and grab all these blueprints that I didn't use. And I'm going to run these to Doe Dixie for him. And contract them to him so that when he gets on, since there's only, 2 days left? 2 days left, yeah. So hopefully he'll log on here. I know he's been having trouble sleeping. So hopefully he'll make it. But yeah, I finished it for both these characters, the ones I normally play, Falstaff and Kragan. I also have Rage, which I didn't start it with him. I'm not going to start it now. But it would have been nice to get the other skins. But yeah, what else was I going to say? So yeah, so I'm going to run those out to Doe Dixie for him. And then after that, I don't know. I was actually thinking of maybe tomorrow. So I'm actually going to do my daily. Get my daily done as well, because that'll give me the full skill point boost. And then honestly, I'm kind of done with Eve until they do something else, to be perfectly honest. So, but I was thinking probably tomorrow maybe streaming Star Wars: The Old Republic, and giving that a try. So I need to get back to my variety streamer status. Since the last almost year, I've been streaming only EveOnline and one RimWorld charity stream. I think I did some RimWorlds in there too, just to get the charity stream. But yeah, so I got to get back more to my variety streaming. So Blossom and everyone's been harassing me about Star Wars: The Old Republic, so give that one a try. What's KO? Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, so this one, no, I think this is on the MMO, Star Wars: The Old Republic. So yeah. So I'm going to take all these blueprints to him, since I bought all these. I'm going to give them to him so he can benefit from it. Actually opened one box that I had laying around, and it had Plex in it. It's like, whoa, that was a nice surprise. All right, so let's make sure we got them all. Yeah, I don't think I have any room for minerals, so he'll have to do his own minerals, but let's see. I don't think I have anything in Doe Dixie. I do not. I cleaned everything out of Doe Dixie, so let's find Doe Dixie. All right, I'm getting up to see you in a bit, and I'll keep stream open. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking I'll do for Blossom, everybody else. So kind of mix it up a little bit. I'm going to have to set up a new panel for it, which is not a big deal, but it takes time. And so yeah, we'll give that a try. Probably want to get back to doing some RimWorld, some Dwarf Fortress, some of the other ones. Maybe some 7 Days to Die. MortySnerd was on yesterday, so 7 Days to Die is a big one. I'd really like to stream playing my brother. Slinging her lightsaber around, yeah. I'm not sure he'll be good with that. He's pretty shy. He's actually been on the stream a couple times, but he hasn't said anything, which I'm like, why don't you say something? He's like, I don't want to. Yeah, typical. Yeah, with the rim. Yeah. So Jackson's obviously been drinking again. So. Yeah, she's still in bed. I'm not gonna agree to her doing stuff. Lies. Yeah, lies. But yeah, so special thanks to Jackson because he actually helped me out with the last little bit with some boost. So I was able to mine a whole bunch of minerals and get the last builds done for both Kragan and Falstaff, so that worked out good. And got that taken care of, so wake her with the rim. Yeah. I'm not sure that would work out well for her. I'm liable to lose it. liable to get ripped off. I can't afford that. Yeah, so we were talking about that the other day. So is a public hospital close to here, but the public hospital is like the last place you go, pretty much if you're dead or about to die. And the private hospital is actually almost all the way to Lipa, which is about 2 hours. So it's okay. I don't know. I think it'll grow on me because I have a whole bag. I mean, it's not a very big bag, but I'm gonna definitely drink it. So I'm sure it'll grow on me. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it makes me think of M&Ms, but I don't know why because it doesn't taste like M&Ms. So yeah, it's really strange. It maybe just because it's on the bag, subliminal. But yeah, so the private hospital is almost all the way to Lipa, so that's almost 2 hours. So my in-laws were joking. It says, hey, if something happens, you're just gonna die. And so it was one of those. Was like, okay, I'll just have to come to terms with that. But yeah, and I figure I can probably go to the public hospital, but the public hospital is free, so everybody goes there. And so, for everything. So yeah. But like I said, I'm not expecting to need a hospital, but we'll have to reevaluate from our house to see how that is. Because I think it's a little bit closer to Lipa somehow. I don't know how. Lipa is north of us, but kind of northwest. Our lot is south of us. But somehow it's closer to Lipa. So Legomaniax, good to see you, buddy. So yeah, so I'm not really sure how, but so yeah, it's called Lipa City, Batangas, and so that's the closest major city here to us here in San Juan. And so now ours is not like I said, I'm gonna do some drone footage hopefully later today. If it doesn't rain. I'll get some drone footage. You guys be able to see what San Juan looks like from aerial view, and we'll check that out, and I'll post that out on the Discord. But yeah, the Lipa is the actual closest major city, and so that's where the closest private hospital is, and so. But yeah, they don't have anything called life flight here or anything like that. So it's pretty much you get there on your own. They do have ambulances, but they say it's always faster for you to drive yourself. So if you're capable, and so yeah, so in those cases, but yeah, it's you know I don't even think they have like a 911 here. So yeah, so one of the things a lot of the expats that I've talked to or followed on YouTube have said is that you want to choose a place that's close to a hospital, and so within an hour, and so looking at the map, what town is close to you? So we are in San Juan, Batangas. So, and actually, if you go to Google Maps, I could probably send you the GPS coordinates if you want of where our apartment, it's a house, where our rental house is, as well as the GPS coordinates for our lot, which, like I said, is south of us, kind of southwest. And so, but somehow our lot is closer to Lipa than we are by, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. So, which is kind of strange. So I don't know how that works, but yeah, San Juan Batangas would be that's the city we're technically considered in. The barangay, which is the town, is called Calit. And then San Juan is the closest. San Juan is the kind of the what they call a city, and then the Federation Navy. Let's do Federation Navy. And then, like I said, Lipa City. You could definitely find that on the map. So if you go south of Manila, Manila's easy to find. That's the capital. You go south of Manila, just a little south of Manila, you'll find Lipa City. And then if you go southeast of Lipa City, you'll find San Juan. And then if you really zoom in, you might find Calit. That's the actual barangay we live in. So yeah, so the way they do it is by barangay is I guess what you'd call town, and then you have like a city that surrounds the town. So that's San Juan Batangas, or that's San Juan, and then you have the province, which is Batangas, and so that's where that all comes in. So let me grab these. You guys let me know if Respin or Blue Gray shows up, so that I can let them know. They're the winners. But I am going to contract these to him. So that's Kate Voss, I'm pretty sure. Get a contract. So yeah, so I'll get those. Yep, Caden Voss. And I figure worst case scenario, he can get him to somebody else if he needs to. So that'll get him taken care of. Cool beans. And then let's head back to Euphine. Oh, ocular filter. I should probably pick that up. It's only 5 jumps. Cap booster. I won't be able to carry the cap booster, I'm sure, but wow, you really are out there. So yes, but honestly, we're not, because we're like 2.5 hours from Manila. So that's actually considered still close enough to Manila to be, feasible. Where if you look out if you go north of Manila, there's a province of Bicol. There's a province of Cebu. those are on other islands, so you actually have to take a plane to get to them. And so those are the people that consider themselves really in the province, because you have to take a plane to get to them, or a boat. And where we're still on the mainland, Luzon is the main island. And I know my pronunciations sometimes are not always, so that's the name of the main island. But yeah, but yes, it is truly province life. That's why we don't have private hospital closed. We don't have a department store closed. But that's part of it. It's very quiet here, which is very nice. And so yeah, Luzon is the island that Manila is on, that Batangas is on. And so Batangas is the province, the closest province to what they call Metro Manila, which they call a province. And Metro Manila consists of Manila, Makati, which is the business capital of the Philippines, BGC, which is where all the digital nomads stay. It's got all the amenities. It's actually cost almost the same as being in America, and mostly condos and that surrounding area. And then of course my sister-in-law's place, which is in Alabang, and there's several other towns in that area. Muntinlupa, which the most famous prison in the Philippines is in Muntinlupa. So yeah. But we used to say we were coming from Muntinlupa, but then everybody always asked, from the prison? Because the only people that come from Muntinlupa come from the prison, which that's where her sister technically lives. And that was kind of funny. So we stopped telling people we were from Muntinlupa. So no problem, Dark Slider. But yeah, so it's a interesting setup. But like I said, there is a doctor's hospital here, which I thought was a private hospital. I guess I've been told it's a public hospital, which, like I said, the public hospitals are free. The private hospitals do not cost very much. Manila actually has a St. Luke's in Manila. So which we have in America. The last hospital I went to in America was a St. Luke's. Which is kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, Manila's 2.5 hours away. So if we really needed something serious, we would go there. Not an emergency type stuff, but any kind of treatment or things of that nature. So, but luckily, praise God, we're very healthy. So I'm not worried too much about the hospitals. Probably the biggest thing I worry about is they cut everything by hand here with very big knives. So I worry about somebody having to get stitches because they're always using the largest knife to cut the smallest thing. And I'm like, yeah, somebody's going to cut their hand open. I can see it happening. But I think probably what will end up happening is I will end up having to put in stitches. So, it's the hospital's 2 hours away. So.